Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Hamida Aziz. Very nice to meet you. Hopefully you'll stick around. Be sure to press that subscribe button and that notification button as well, so then you can see upcoming videos as I post them. And be sure to like and share and subscribe once again. All right, today I wanted to talk about the one thing that I wish I knew at 18 that I feel like would have saved me a lot of time throughout my 20s, a lot of trials and tribulations that I've gone through with just everything, just I guess with on a professional level, something that I wish I knew at 18. Okay, the main thing I wish I knew at 18 was, and it seems so simple, right, when I actually think about it, but I just never really thought about it, I guess, that much back then, because, at 18, you're getting out of high school, you're ready to go to college. For me anyway, some people don't, it's whatever your choice is. Me, I was like, okay, I'm going to college, I'm going to get this degree. All I need is this degree. I never really thought about not having a degree. That was just what it was, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, whatever kind of major I needed. I mean, I really wasn't thinking that hard about a major, just because I just didn't really know at 18. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to decide the rest of your life. You're supposed to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life at 18 years old. Please. I'm in there, I'm trying to party. I'm my first time being alone and everything. Who wants to actually think about that type of stuff? Well, a lot of times you're following advice that other people have given you throughout, I guess, your lifehood, as a child and everything. It's whatever your parents are saying, you see them going through it. It's you can either take two routes. You can either go through, go the same route as what other people have showed you, or you can see how bad it turned out for them and turn it around and do something different. Well, I chose to pretty much listen to what other people were telling me, try to go on the straight, narrow path, and do what they said, follow by example and everything. And you know what? And I feel like by me doing that, it wasted pretty much 10 years of my life. I'm not going to say it wasted my life. You learn, you live and you learn, and it helped me to grow and to become what I am today. And a lot of those lessons that I had to learn, I wouldn't have learned or even had any idea that people go through this stuff if it wasn't for the route that I chose. So let's get into it. The main thing that I wish that I would have known when I was 18 on a professional level is I wish someone would have told me, or actually not even told me, just got it through my head that you need to find a skill that will produce a high income. And I know it sounds so simple and everything, but nobody really told me this. Nobody really sat there and said that you'd have to have a skill that produces a high income in order to make money, in order to have a comfortable life, in order to pretty much grow in life and everything. Like I said, I was doing following the route of what other people told me, and other people sat there and told me is okay, go to college and get a degree. So I went to college and I got a degree, but I graduated with this degree, and now I'm okay, I can't even get a job right after I graduated. So I'm okay, I'm getting this degree, and then now what? I got the degree. I'm applying for jobs. Well, actually, even before I got the degree, I was applying for jobs. So I was going to school at night, and I was okay, great. This opens up the whole day for me. I can go and find me a full-time job. I can work anywhere because school doesn't, my school didn't start until 6:30 p.m. So I'm okay, I got the whole day to do whatever I wanted to do. And then here I am, I'm applying for application after application after application, and not still hearing anything, nothing. I'm updating my resume on a day-to-day basis, not day-to-day basis, that's a little bit too much, but I kept on doing that. And so I was just thinking that, okay, I got this degree, and then, and actually what a lot of people don't tell you is I'm a millennial like everybody else. Once we came into the workforce, that's when the market crashed, right? So a lot of people weren't really hiring at that time. They weren't hiring. And I mean, people that had experience that had a degree also were still sitting there trying to apply for the same kind of jobs that I was applying for, and I didn't have any kind of experience at all. So that was like what happened there. And so like, but if I would have known like back then to find a high producing skill, a high income producing skill, that would have saved me a lot. And so I honestly it didn't even come to my mind that that's what the whole thing is until honestly about like a few months ago. I started like watching sales trainings and stuff. I was listening to like Grant Cardone and like Gary Vee, like following advice from them and stuff. And then like one thing that Grant Cardone mentioned is he said that you have to master sales. Any and everything has been sold to you. You know, you bought a computer before that was sold to you. You bought like a light, you bought a camera, anything, like even doing this whole YouTube thing, somebody sold it to me, whether they personally went and talked to me about it, or if I saw an ad online, or if I just went and started looking up things and then I saw the reviews and I'm like, okay, that stuff has been sold to you. And then Grant Cardone, he mentioned that your highest potential income will only come from sales. Sales is the only type of skill that allows you to have this unlimited potential amount of income. And so it's like back in the day, like when I had first graduated from college, I had actually had a degree in marketing. And so I'm thinking that like once I get out of college, I'm about to get this marketing job. I'm going to be like a director of marketing, which I don't even know why I was even thinking that. But I'm like, I'm going to have this like marketing job, marketing analyst, whatever it is. But I kept getting offers for sales jobs, like these like pyramid scheme jobs or whatever, or where you got to go out for a day and try to sell things to this business and that business, like AT&T services and all that stuff, like standing in Sam's Club or whatever it is. And I'm like, man, this is not like a fun thing. I don't like sales. And honestly, I ran from it. I was like, I cannot do the sales thing. I hated sales. I was like, oh my gosh, I would never have a sales job ever. That was like my whole thing. Never have a sales job. And then like, as I got older, pretty much, honestly, like the past 6 months or whatever, or actually within the past year, I started realizing, okay, like you have to sell this, sell that in order to have a business. You know, you got to sell. So then I was just like, one day I was like, man, you know, I can't be scared of sales. I need to go back and like have a refresher or whatever, you know. And I was watching something. I can't even remember what it was that I was watching. Like, cause I just started taking like all different types of trainings and like just looking at YouTube and trying to figure something out, like what I was going to do with my life, because like working this 9-to-5 job, it was not working for me. Okay. And so I was just like, man, I need to figure something out here. And then so like I was watching somebody and they sat there and said, they're like, look, you cannot be scared of sales. You know, I started reading books like The Wolf on Wall Street, that guy's book, you know, how he was selling like other types of people, like, you know, that were like really good at sales and stuff. And that's the whole gist of it. They were like, you cannot be scared of sales. Sales is the only type of skill that you will have that has unlimited income potential, right? And so I have always just had it in my mind that, okay, I need to be great at something and just be great, right? And so I never really thought about like, man, the only way for you to be great is you have to master this skill, you know. Because who are the richest people in the world? I don't know if they're the happiest or whatever, but majority of people that are doing what they're doing, what are they doing? They're selling something to somebody. They have businesses and all that. Like I used to think like, okay, I need to have my own business and stuff and be like this whole C-level position or whatever it is, like just be on the top, right? And I don't know why I never really thought about that, but yes, that is the number one thing. You have to find a skill that has high income producing. Like, okay, you could be a plumber, you know, you might be the best plumber in town where everyone is coming to you for services and everything. And you're charging $1,000 out the gate just for 2 hours. That's $500 an hour, right? For the services that you just provided. Okay, $500 an hour minus the minus the actual products that you had to use, like paying for those or whatever. But a lot of times, like, the customer is already paying for that. So then you're adding that into like their cost of their service. And then whatever comes out, you're just paying, they're paying for your time and stuff. And that sounds a lot better than going to work a 9 to 5, even only making $50,000 an hour, $50,000 a year, right? Because you're going and just making this set salary that, okay, yeah, you might think it's secure, but what happens if their business goes under? What happens if anything happens? Okay, we just had we just had COVID. We're still in COVID, right? And imagine how many businesses went out of business, how many people were laid off. They sat there and went on unemployment, talking about the highest unemployment rates ever and everything at one time. That's just crazy. And then that's how you know that this whole security, this job security stuff, is not really secure. So it's like, you can't just have a job. You have to have a skill that allows you to produce an unlimited amount of income, which means to be able to have your own. And then it's like, okay, if you're a plumber and you're working for somebody else and the plumber's like, you know what, I can't pay you this month and everything, or we're going to have to lay you off, but you still have the skills of being a plumber, you can sit there and go and do it on your own, especially today's day and age. Like, they have so many apps to help people be able to pretty much be able to work on their own, and freelance opportunities where you don't need anybody else over you that's going to tell you like, hey, you can go and do this job. You can go and find a job on your own. And I say like a job, just like on a job by job basis, like a case by case, like a project job or something like that. Not just a full like salary job or hourly job. You can sit there. Once you have that skill, you can go and do whatever you want with it, and it's so crazy because like when I was in college, I used to want to major in like fashion design, and then my parents were all like, no, that's not a real job, whatever, that's not a realistic career and everything. But you know what, they couldn't see where the market was going and everything, and they weren't able to sit there and think about it like, man, well, if she does do that, she will actually have a skill. Because I was actually going to go to fashion design school, and they have like a degree. It was like fashion design plus marketing, which I would have had a double degree. But now instead I went to school and just have a marketing degree. So it's like, before I would have had a skill plus marketing, but I can always learn it on my own right now. But like back then, just to do all of that in one, that would have saved me so much time. Because now, like, anytime I don't want to have a job, I could have just been working on clothes or whatever, and selling them online or selling them anywhere. I could have opened up my own store and did whatever I wanted, because it is a skill, and it's a high income producing skill that no one told me about before, which I wish I would have known. That's the key to success. Find you a high income producing skill. And one of the main high income producing skills is sales. Whether you're selling boats, you're selling planes, you're selling tickets, you're selling mirrors, you're selling computers, you're doing anything, that's still a skill that you have. Or you can sell a service, you're selling a service to cut grass, you're doing construction work outside, you're washing windows. That's a skill that no one can take from you, not just by going to college. At the same time, marketing actually can be seen as a skill, because I know that there's a lot of copywriters out there. But what the college version of marketing teaches you, at least my school did, they didn't teach me anything about what's going on today in today's world. And I never had a job back then, like in the marketing field, because it was always just sales, and I used to run from it, which was probably like just my fault anyway. But it teaches you something different. It's just like the college version. Plus, you had to take all these other classes that don't even have anything to do with marketing. They didn't have copywriting back then. They didn't tell us how to actually advertise. They just went over the basics like SWOT analysis, and that was it. And it was like every single class that I had in marketing, we were doing a project for SWOT analysis. And if you don't know what SWOT analysis is, you can look it up, SWOT, SWOT analysis. But other than that, I just wish I would have like found that out just by having a college degree. That does not make you eligible to be able to produce the kind of income that you want in life. You have to actually use those skills that you learn in college and pretty much have the courage to be able to do it on your own and recognize and have the confidence that you do have a skill. It's not to just go out and look for a job. You know what? But some people like that security. They think it's secure, whatever. They think it's secure until they find out that it's not. You know, they might have a pension. They like the benefits that come through it, health insurance, you know, like all that's a paid time off. Like me, I don't like people to tell me what time I have to be somewhere and, you know, wake up every single day and what time I have to do this and what time I have to do that. That's just not me. So me, it's like, I wish I would have known that, even though it's so simple right now to even think about it, I just wish I would have known that I needed to find a high income producing skill in order to be able to produce the type of money that I want to have in life and have an unlimited amount of income potential. And that's the key word. It's income potential. Because when you are at a regular job, your potential, there is no potential. You know what you're making every single year and everything. If you're on a salary job, you might get a raise every single year after that. What, 2%, 6%, whatever it is. Majority of times like 2.5%, 3% or whatever it is, which is like pennies on the dollar. But I mean, some people like that, you know, but I mean, me, I can't do that because I found out that that does not work for me. It does not work for my family. It sounds good when you enter the job, like, oh, okay, you know, I'll be getting paid this amount of money. But then once you start getting into it, like all the other expenses that you might have, daycare, car insurance, like whatever it is, like you're paying for a car note, your gas, your tollways, everything, you know, all that's getting eaten up. And then you're not able to make more than that. That's like what you're just making. There's like a cap on what you're making. And plus it's like you're allowing somebody to tell you what you're worth. And you know what? And that's just not what I like to go by. That's just not me. I love the whole idea of the high income potential, and it used to scare me, but now it's not. So I hope you all were able to learn something from this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, also subscribe, share, and hit the notification button so then you can get notified of when the next time it is that I post. All right, once again, Hamida here, and see you soon.